Hi guys, I'm Gasha. Welcome to the channel and welcome to our coffee times. Today I'm here to bring you my fall book haul. These are some of the books that have been acquired in the last couple of months. So let's get to them.
It's coffee time.
This is mostly horror slash thriller, and there is a wide variety of different types of books and authors and stuff. So before we go though and dive into all of those books that I got, please consider subscribing if you love horror and books, and also click on the notification bell so you don't miss any more coffee times. Alright, so first of all, we are going to be talking about two books that the author kindly enough sent to me, and I cannot thank him enough for sending me his books. I know shipping these is not cheap, and I really appreciate it. And he also signed them for me, and that is Broken Rock by Deep Arya and Don't Trust Bees, also by Deep Arya. So I cannot wait to read these two. I also got some postcards by the author. The books are signed, and since I read this one, The Overbridge, I fell in love with the supernatural touches that the author has, and all his books are supposed to be on the same kind of universe, the Aryaverse, and I absolutely love that. You guys know I love when authors put like Easter eggs or kind of connect their books. That is also one of the reasons why I love Stephen King so much, because everything is kind of interconnected, and I just cannot wait to read these two and connect them to this one. And it's just so much fun. These are short books, so they are super easy to binge, and they have to do a lot with the supernatural. They're kind of like Twilight Zone meets kind of Lovecraft, you know, that kind of vibe. So if you love those kind of stories, you might want to pick this one up. I have talked about this one a lot of times on my channel, but these ones are new. So this is a collection of short stories. This one is coming out on the 30th of October if you guys want to check it out. And the other one, Broken Rock, all that I know about it is that it has to do on a lighthouse and about some people that go there, a reporter that goes there to cover some news, and then it becomes kind of like a madhouse. So I just cannot wait. The next two that I have to show you are also by the same author. We have the super highly anticipated book Clown in a Cornfield. This is YA horror by Adam Caesar. And then I also reached out and picked up his other short book, Zero Lives Remaining. I mean, just look at this cover. I mean, excuse me. So these are very different stories. This one is a ghost story, and as you can tell, it does have to do with gaming. And this one, it is everything you would ever want. It is about clowns. It is in a small town, and we are also in cornfields. So everything you ever wanted. So Queen and her father moved to this new town, and they are, you know, trying to adjust to this new life. They come from the city and now they go to this small town, so life is very different. And they start to realize that there is some sort of friction between the young generations and the older generations, and it seems like the town is living in two different worlds, and one day they're going to collide. So we also have a clown that is going on a killing spree. So yeah, this is going to be, I think, one of my best reads of this year. Next, let's quickly mention a Goosebumps wanted book that I picked up, and that is The Haunted Mask by Errol Stein. I want to collect these ones. I did read some of the older books back in the day, but I never owned any of them. I always picked them from the library in Spain. So I want to build up my own collection slowly. So I decided to pick this one up because I think it's also going to be a great read for the month of October. The next one is one that I was really excited about when it was announced, because it has to do with people from our own community, and that is Local Hunts. So this is a compilation of short stories written by yours truly, the booktube community. It is written by horror booktubers, and there's a lot of different short stories in here, and I just cannot wait to dive into it. Also, I really wanted to support them, so I picked up the paperback because it was available here, and I just cannot wait to read it. It's just so exciting when, you know, these stories are written by people that you follow. I mean, I don't really know them, but you kind of feel you do when you binge their videos. So this is really exciting. Next we have Master of Murder by Christopher Pike. This is about an 18-year-old that is writing books under a pen name, so nobody knows he's the one writing the books, and he's very successful. And then one day he gets a letter on the mail that says, "I know who you are." So this is, I think the first time it was published was in the 90s, and I have not read it, so I decided to pick it up. Next I have two books that I picked up at a second-hand store in the Netherlands. The first one, the cover, my boyfriend was like, "What is with this book?" And I'm like, "It's Brian Keene, okay? Give me a break." And that is The Conqueror Awards by Brian Keene. I mean, this cover is wonderful. I love it. So this is about a time where there was a lot of floods, like it rained a lot, and after the rain kind of stopped, it left behind, it dragged from the sea a lot of creatures. And yeah, like you can see in the cover, probably this is going to be a creature feature, and I just think it's gonna be a lot of fun. The other one that I picked up at the second-hand store is actually one that came out earlier this year, so I was surprised to see it there, also in hardcover, and that is The Sundown Motel by Simone St. James. I wanted to pick it up because this is supposed to be a really good thriller, and I'm always on the hunt for those. So this is following two different timelines, I believe, and it is about this hotel where people mysteriously disappear. I hope I'm correct. I just don't want to read too much into it because I really want to get surprised by the plot of these, but I have heard really good things about it, so I'm excited to check it out. Then I have two books that I found in another secondhand bookstore in the Netherlands, and the first one is a book that starts a series, I believe it's middle grade, and that is Dark Side by Tom Becker. So I decided to pick it up since it's the first book and I can see if I enjoy it or not. I know it has to do with London, Jack the Ripper, monsters in a place called Dark Side, so why not? And also this cover is one of those that you can open like this, and I live for that. It was in super good condition and I didn't pay much for it, so I decided to check it out. The other one that I found at this second-hand bookstore is one that I picked also mostly purely based on the cover, and that is The Laughing Man by T.M. Wright. And this is the author of The Last Vampire, and this is the book about a detective that he has the ability to talk to the dead, so that's kind of how he ends up solving his crimes, but maybe having that ability is going to come back to bite him in the ass. So I really don't know what to expect about this one, but I decided to pick it up. The next one is one that I picked up just because I saw it on Amazon as recommended, and I think this is self-published, and I thought, you know, it would be a good way to support an author and also a good way to try something that I have not seen anywhere on booktube at all, so I just wanted to check it out. So the book is Farm by Sian Rosé, and all I know is that it's a group of friends that are going, I think, on a road trip or something, and along the way they meet three women that kind of convince them to go to a mansion with them, and they end up, I guess, in some sort of a cult or some secret society or something. But one of the reasons why I picked this one up is because it's supposed to be fairly disturbing. There's also a warning at the beginning of the book that says, "Note from the author, this book is not," capital letters and bold, "for the faint of heart or those who are easily disturbed." So just saying. I don't know when I'm gonna be able to pick this one up. I also love the line here, "You are what you eat." There is a movie that, you know, has to deal with that topic as well, so I am really curious to see. My first thought here was The Walking Dead and The Sanctuary. If you know, you know. But yeah, I'm really excited to pick this one up because it's not a book that I have seen anybody talking about. The next one is a book that I got gifted for my birthday back in August by the lovely Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book, and this is Pitch Black, any sci-fi horror, which is something that I love. It is by Courtney Alameda, and All I know is that it's about getting nearly to extinction from the human race. I believe there is a group of humans that have been sleeping on a ship for centuries, and then they get back to Earth, I guess, and they realize that the humankind has been maybe nearly erased. I don't know, something like that. But it's kind of like this dark sci-fi horror, and I live for that. I live for that. So I'm really hoping it is as dark as I hope it is. And the last book that I have to show you, because I still have a couple of things to show you, but those are graphic novels. So the last book that I have to show you is Final Girls by Riley Sager. So I started collecting Riley Sager books kind of unknowingly. The first book that I picked up was The Last Time I Lied, because it was for a readathon, and I got the hardcover because it was a new release, so it was only available in hardcover. And then I picked the next one in hardcover, and then I realized, okay, now I have to do it for all of them. And I was missing his debut novel, Final Girls, and so I finally picked it up. All I know is that it has to deal with 3 girls that they are all kind of survivors, final girls from killing sprees that happen at different times, but now they seem to be in danger. That's what I'm getting from the synopsis. But I love Riley Sager so much. I know this is one of his earlier work, so I don't know if I'm gonna love it as much as I loved Lock Every Door, but I do want to check it out. And I ordered this edition. I wanted another one, but it's not available anymore. It's this black and red cover. I really wanted that one, but it was not available, so I picked this one. And my surprise when I got this book is it has black sprayed edges. Nobody told me. Nobody told me. And I just ordered it, and it came with black sprayed edges, and I was like, win situation. Alright, so now let's quickly go through the graphic novels. I don't want to spend too much time talking about them because else this video is gonna get super long. Most of these are series that I'm already reading, and I already have a couple of numbers from. The first one is The Walking Dead Volume 10. I really need to catch up with these graphic novel. I still have a little bit of time before the end of the year, but this is the first one that I picked. The next one is Revival Volume 3. This one is about a small town and a zombie outbreak. Next I have Volume 2 of Outcast. This is by one of the creators of The Walking Dead, and it's about this guy that has been all his life isolated because he is kind of in his head. He has a lot to deal with, and he starts to realize that something is happening that might lead to the end of the world. And the last one that I picked up is Black Hammer Volume 1 Secret Origins. I've been meaning to pick this one up since the first time I walked into a comic store and I saw this cover. I'm like, I'm gonna need that graphic novel. And I still have not read it, but at least I picked up the first volume. This has to do with some superheroes that are now kind of marginated into living in a farm, something like that. I don't know, just the aesthetic alone of this graphic novel, I know it's going to be for me. So these are all the books that I have acquired probably since August or something like that. I'm trying to be a little bit more selective with the books that I do pick up in physical form. I am picking up some books for my Kindle, so maybe I will make a video on that. But these are all the physical books that I have acquired since August this year. I hope that you enjoyed the book haul. Let me know down below if you've read any of these books, any thoughts, also book recommendations. I'm always open to them, so let's talk about it in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Please give the video a big thumbs up for support, and if you want to follow me on the social media, as always, the links are down below for you guys. So I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye.